Good morning and welcome once again to Daybreak Africa from our studio in Ondo State, the sunshine state of the nation. It's a beautiful morning. My name is Ikhonede Joshua Adeji.
And hi, I'm Afolashayo Hamzat.
And I am Odunayo.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning. Alright, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and now it's time to go straight for our news discuss. Well, a trending news story happening in Ondo this weekend. I wished.
Why were you sighing? Are we safe?
No, we are quite safe.
Because I'm scared.
Good news.
No, it's not a good news.
Should we be scared?
It's not something
Should we run?
It's something we should be a bit scared about. Something we should at least, it's like the French will say, KAFTAN.
It's too early for that.
No, let us go straight to it, because in this country, sometimes
Stop beating
let's go straight.
Because the way you sighed, I'm like, oh, Joshua.
So over the weekend, Sunday especially, there were gunshots in Ondo as police and Amotekun operatives clash over custody of suspect. Now, there was tension in Akure, the Ondo State capital, on Sunday as operatives of the state security network agency codenamed Amotekun and the police clashed over the custody of a suspect. The suspect was said to have been involved in a theft of property from a church. You get mine, the church.
It's his father's house. I get that.
The stuff he stole is for his father.
Yeah,
okay.
For the father.
The Heavenly Father. Located around Sunday bus stop on Ijoka Road in Akure, the disagreement led to gunshots, causing panic among residents who scampered for safety. And the confrontation actually later shifted to ShopRite roundabout near the Amotekun headquarters around 2 p.m. Olusola Lainka, who happens to be the police public relations officer in the state, said operatives were the first to arrive at the scene. He accused Amotekun operatives of forcefully taking custody of the suspect and the exhibit, injuring a police officer in the process. Really. And at some few hours after that, a report was received at the Ijoka Divisional Police Headquarters regarding the arrest of the suspect alleged to have been involved in the theft of a truck located in that area. Acting promptly on the reports, the Divisional Police Officer (DPO) detailed 2 police officers along with the incident duty officer to proceed to the scene, recover the suspect, and secure exhibit leading to the crime. And then it is important to note that the police officers were the first to arrive at the scene. However, while they were executing their lawful duties, operatives of the Amotekun Corps arrived in the company of large group of commercial motorcyclists, Okada riders. Following the incident, Wilfred Olutokunbo Afolabi, the Ondo State Police Commissioner, directed tactical commanders to recover both the suspect and the exhibit. And subsequently, after intervention and dialogue led by commanders of both agencies, the suspect and exhibit were returned to the police in the spirit of inter-agency cooperation. But that doesn't end it. There was one more clause there. However, it must be stated that while the matter was being amicably resolved, a few group members of the Amotekun Corps, unhappy with the release of the suspects, began firing sporadically into the air to prevent a breakdown of law and order and to disperse the agitated crowd without arm. The police officers at the scene responded with the professional use of tear gas. No exchange of gunfire occurred between the 2 agencies, which is very, very important, because one of the things people were saying actually was that they were shooting at each other, both the police and the Amotekun, and they were just trying to clarify that police sent tear gas, Amotekuns were shooting to the air. But now, this is the thing. You see, this was one of the things that we were all scared about when they were creating the Amotekun Corps. Actually, they were like, won't there be a time when they will clash with our police officers and all that? Because sometimes things like this happen. I remember what happened in our that was 2023, right? In Owo, where gunmen just entered into a church and they shot sporadically and all that. The people wanted to take law into their hands due to the emotional attachment they had, and the police were trying to make proper investigations. There was a way where they managed the whole problem to a point that it was gradually escalating into ethnical fights, because many were already, without any investigation, were already suspecting the Fulanis and all that, which is one of the reasons why many governmental agencies are very careful, or the federal government are very careful about regional police force or community police. Before you know what is happening, they can begin to bastardize and make use of the system. But they get mind, did they shoot gun where police did? Like shooting gun where the police is.
My issue with this story is it a must for us to go this route when it comes to, okay, there is a suspected this, there is a suspected that was arrested and all. We understand the fact that this party might want to take the glory. This party will also want to take the glory.
Exactly.
But the primary thing is the person who did the bad thing
Was caught.
And okay, even if it is you who want to take this person, go. If it is this person, so far the person was caught.
That is the main
I don't now understand why you now have to start shooting, and why, what for? When we say security agencies, no matter where you are from, no matter what party you belong to, no matter what group you belong to, I feel what we all should work towards is justice. And when the person who did the bad thing, the barbaric act,
It's
because
caught.
like you said, the person has mind, enter church, go steal. But
Like,
he said
bro.
it to that it's his father's house. So let's take it as though it's his father's house. When he has done what he is supposed not to do and he has been caught, I don't think we should now resort to shooting and all. If you are acting like this, I feel at the long run, citizens will not have hope or faith in you anymore, because at some point they might be like, oh, if things do not go their way, it might result in something else. While shooting in the air, what if?
That's another
The legs
thing.
of the line that word. What if?
For a matter that is that minute.
What if one of the citizens was being shot? What will you say? You are there to arrest someone who did something bad. By the end of the day, you did worse. You were supposed to be the savior, but then you are now the one who is now doing something worse. Because I do not understand. Is it that you now say the person who was shot was walking recklessly, or what would their response have been? It's now, to me, sometimes you hear between soldiers and policemen. Sometimes you
That one is still very rampant. Soldiers and policemen, very rampant.
You hear road safety officials and policemen. You just hear it is so annoying and disappointing to me.
And I feel like
because I feel you're supposed to work hand in hand.
Exactly, they should work together.
It's just like, okay, a brother and a sister from same mother. That is how I see this people.
For the same duty.
But the same duty. But it's so unfortunate that you just see them. A lot of things. I will see some pictures online. I'll be like, Nigeria.
You can't explain Nigeria to people.
Nigeria. Why?
Can't.
When are we going to grow? When are we going to grow? Imagine, and you know the way they will write the headline. We are good at it. The way we paint it, the way we write the headline, and it is so unfortunate that this thing does not stop. Tomorrow you will still hear another one.
And that will still happen.
Policemen, and it might not be Amatekun this time around. It might not even be soldiers this time around. You hear probably VIOs. It will just be these people from this party
to another party.
Why? To me, I feel government should do something. Probably there will be a fine if you are caught fighting. You see many uniform fathers of nations. You see, I'll be like, this is someone's father.
Yes.
This is someone's mother, because it is not limited to men alone. You even
Women
see
too
the
as well
women
are very
too,
involved in it.
holding themselves, pulling. I'll be like, even in the process of this whole assault and dragging yourself, what if one of you die? Because you never can tell the health status of the person you're fighting with. Imagine now resorting to shooting in the air and spraying of tear gas after the person involved has been caught. I don't
even know what to resolve we are even having. The police should even be the body that is supposed to be a higher body for I don't understand how those things.
I feel like maybe there should be an orientation program for all our
security operatives.
Yes, they should come together and orientate them. If something like this happen, this is how to go about it.
I don't think there has not been orientation. I don't think
maybe
so.
there should be more
because
orientation.
I feel before you can wear that uniform, before you can handle ammunitions, I feel you've gone through orientations.
And all of that.
I feel you've gone through orientations. So it's just as if you are going, to me, I feel they are even going against the law. When you see your fellow, what's it called, and you start fighting, it's uncalled for. But then it is what it is. It is Nigeria. But I feel, or let me say, I pray government does something about this thing. It is so disappointing, and it is, how do I put it? It is uncalled for, and it is a shameful act.
It's very shameful to me.
It is a shameful act.
If I was to ask, when
at the end of the day, you know, the suspect might even sit there and be laughing at me.
when I sat down to look at the whole story, I was beginning to ask myself questions like,
at that point, what would the suspect be doing?
The suspect look like I carries grace. Who got this?
If you don't carry grace, you don't go to
the top was clean
they're fighting over easy.
But then I think I was suspecting many issues. Maybe one, ego could be the issue, because sometimes, you know, the Amotekun has always positioned themselves to look as if they are the ones that are saving the security situations in the state and all that. The police sometimes too, it could be egotistical to just want to just, you know, show that they are the ones that did the whole assignment and all those kind of things. So one wants to take glory than the other. That's my own suspicion.
That is why
Amotekun has not made their statement. Police has made their statement already. So we can't judge based on one
that energy should be put into something else.
Yeah, true.
Somebody that
I feel sometimes that maybe they might feel maybe this one wants to, you know, sometimes things like this happen in this country. It used to happen in some corrupt practices in some offices, whether Amotekun or police. Sometimes if your person is arrested and all that, someone that you know actually, you know, I do feel this one, maybe because of where I grew up in, sometimes I see guys that were caught in the act of crime, real act of crime, and you think these guys are already in prison and all that, they are tried in court. And there was a particular time, that time I just went to do a work in Ogun State. I used to live in Lagos then. I went to go and do a work in Ogun State, and the same guy that
why are you always
committed
staining the white of my state?
No, the same guy that committed a very grievous crime in my vicinity. I saw him there just living freely. He even greeted me, and I was looking like, how? There are times where I've seen them pick up real bad guys on the streets, and they return them just suddenly, and those guys are, in fact, it gets to a point those guys are very good friends with multiple security operatives and all that. So
I remember, if let me not talk down on my alma mater, because no matter what it is, I'm a Ladokai. It's always a Ladokai forever. Ladokai. There was this guy, I can't call him my friend because I don't keep friends with criminals. Obviously I know he's a cult member.
Cult guy.
And this guy is someone who talks recklessly anywhere, anyhow. So there was a time he literally killed someone. He was arrested. And in my mind I was like, oh, so this is how this guy is going to die. This is how they are going to kill this guy. It was my junior though. I was like, so I'm not going to see this guy again. Because in my own church mind, I'm like, they are going to kill him.
If you kill, you
will be killed.
It's on the fact that you killed someone. It wasn't up to a week that I saw this guy on my street again. He even greeted me, Ada, how are you? And it was like, we have gone and we are back. He said it in Yoruba, Atiloatide. Wow!
Really?
I was surprised.
I think that was one of the things that got me thinking through this whole thing. That
I was
for them
surprised,
to
like,
want
really?
that guy is something about him.
He is the one who narrated how everything went. Like, he literally killed someone. But he was like, the people that arrested him, they already knew that's not the first time he will be arrested, and you know, that's the norm. That's the way they do it. You just go, it's just as if you're going there to mark register. You just go there and, you know,
do the necessaries and you're back.
Like, really?
And someone's life is at stake.
You know, sometimes
what happens to the person he killed?
Now look at this.
I was shocked.
Look at this whole issue of them. That's why I think maybe that body was trying to look at the fact that if I release this guy to you, you release him back later. Maybe that is one of the things that is happening. Because honestly, if I talk about the security situation in Ondo State generally as we speak, it's kind of alarming. And on a more serious note, this one is happening clearly. On the undertone, some people from the Amotekun are pointing hands at the so far the police are pointing hands at the Amotekun. So the harsh truth is, no one knows who is right, no one knows who is wrong. My own is just that if two of you who the citizens are depending on for their security are at loggerheads, then definitely the state
We are
can't
not
be secure.
safe.
So it's high time the both bodies just sit together and just work things out so that
Because at the end of the day, this is one of the reasons why you see citizens taking laws into their own hands.
and not into the
Because
hands
when they
man.
cannot trust the people who are supposed to safeguard them, this kind of thing, what is the thing they are preaching to citizens out there? Because I'm very sure even the person that was arrested will just sit in one corner and be laughing like, hey, really, I'm a star. If I'm not a star, you guys will not be fighting all because of me. But then it is so disappointing and it is a shameful act, I must say.
Well, let's just see. Let's just progress on those stories actually.
It is well, it is what it is. Oh, from here, let me before I go into this story, because I'm somehow skeptical, I'm somehow confused. If I'm owing someone and I still have to go and borrow
To pay the
to
person
pay
you're owing.
the person I'm owing, how does it sound?
Such is life. That's how life is.
Minus times minus.
Minus as well. You rock it out to pay for.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Okay, let me just go straight because the response you guys are giving me is even killing me the more. Okay, our Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu says the federal government may borrow to settle part of the 4 trillion naira debt owed to power generation companies, the GENCOs. Adelabu spoke during a high-level meeting with the leadership of the Association of Power Generation Companies, the APGC, according to a statement by Bolaji Tuji, a special advisor, strategic communications and media relations. The meeting comes amid growing concern over the liquidity crisis in the power sector, which has left the GENCO struggling to maintain operations. Speaking at the meeting, Adelabu said the federal government will prioritize the immediate payment of a substantial portion of the debt in cash, while the remaining liabilities will be addressed using financial instruments like promissory notes. Okay, promissory note, no wahala. Adelabu said the resolution strategy will be tabled before President Bola Tinubu in a proposed meeting with GENCO's leadership, adding that the outstanding balance could be cleared within 6 months. On his part, Sani Bello, the chairman of Mainstream Energy Solutions and head of APGC, said the 4 trillion naira owed has crippled the ability of GENCOs to access credit or maintain infrastructure. Also, Kola Adeshina, the chairman of Egbin Power and First Independent Power Limited, described the situation as a national emergency. Okay. Also speaking, Joy Ogaji, Chief Executive Officer, the CEO of APGC, identified payment defaults, erratic gas supply, and exchange rate instability as major threats to GENCO's sustainability. You know, this thing is funny to me because, okay, we are owing and we still have to borrow
to
pay our debt. But why am I not surprised? So far, the presidency is resulting to, what's it called, solar. So what then are we talking about? At this point, I feel rather than us borrowing again to pay our debts, because we are just incurring debt every day, every now and then, and I'm saying one day they might come to Nigeria and pack all of us so go and pay our debts. It is a general thing, and like this person said, it is a general emergency. We all have to attend to it ASAP, as soon as possible, because I don't understand, is there no other way whereby we can go, or we can just resolve this issue of debt rather than incurring more debt? It is now raised to power, is now debt squared, or let me say even triple, because I don't understand. We are in soup already and we are still adding more soup, adding more pepper. We are like, we are being burnt by fire. It's just as if someone is still now pouring petrol and adding to the fire. I don't understand. I feel government should do something about this. Can we not go about it in another way rather than us having to borrow again? It's just as if we are moving in a cycle. Because we've incurred a whole lot of debt, we still have to go and borrow. Still, we are still debtors. To me, it's just as if we are still in the same soup.
You see, I think that's one question many Nigerians have been asking, and I think I just want to bring a bit of clarity to some things, because first things first, the mentality of debt, I think we need to take that in out first, that debt is bad. To a very large extent, it depends on what you are using your debt for. To economic discussions, there is hardly any way that you're going to be investing in a business or do one or two things that has to do with governmental activities that debt will not be involved.
So we'll now use debt to cover debt.
Here is the reason. One, our revenue generation in Nigeria is very low, extremely low, because over the last, let's say 40 years, the government has been subsidizing everything for the country. And the reason why the government has been subsidizing everything for the country is, one, political. Two, there is this thing they've given us in Nigeria, this mentality that we have too many resources in this country. And because we have too many resources, Nigeria is a rich country. The harsh truth is, true, on the books, in reality, we have multiple resources. But the harsh truth is, the only resource we are actually making money from is oil. You see those other resources, there is no account for it. Someone somewhere is making money from those things, but the money is not going into the coffers of the country. That's just the harsh truth we should know. And there are some few other things that is making the country money, which some of them are just silent. They will just put it as the non-oil sector. You see that non-oil sector, it has a whole lot of things involved, which the country is not clear about. Now, I feel from the multiple loans the country has collected in the past, we have made some deals, which is the reason why some of those are our other resources. We are not saying it's. I feel some of those deals we've signed in the last few years has taken some of those resources away from us. Some countries are feeding on it without our own hands involved in it, and it's a very bad thing. Now, the debt is not bad. The way we went about it is what is looking bad to us. And the reason why we are going through that debt route by trying to subsidize too many things for the Nigerian people is a very bad thing. You see, that reason is why now that they are trying to remove subsidies on almost everything, is already making the whole country cry, because the timing that they are trying to remove the subsidies from all of us is a time where all of us, we don't broke. Look, in this country as we speak, whether you're earning 500,000, whether you're earning 1.5 million, whether you're earning 5 million, you dey feel them one way or the other. You are feeling it. Something is touching you.
It's not as if you are keeping the whole money in your pocket. And you are collecting it. You
are spending the whole money.
Throwing it out.
Now, the truth is, the power sector are now saying, come, we can't subsidize again for you guys. Let's be sincere with ourselves. And I understand their point. It is sad, but it is the truth. Because honestly, if we were to get electricity like we're supposed to get in this country, we'll be paying through our nose. Go abroad, go anywhere, they are paying through their nose for even the electricity they get. You will say that they have 24 hours electricity.
But then
they are paying.
They know how much is coming out of
some of them work 5 jobs to just pay the bill of the electricity. It's just the harsh truth. In this country, all of us have just.
You know, I was speaking with someone yesterday who is in the UK, and I was like, okay, have you taken your shower in the night? I was like,
shower? Okay.
No, I only shower once a day. I was like, really? Like, I can't sleep without taking my bath at night. I was like, okay, your pocket will scream. Your pocket will scream because
just
you
know
how much you're paying for water here. I was like, really? Let me stay enjoy my water here.
The country collects, even, do you know this one? You come to Nigeria is the best place to have money. Because if you have money in this country, you can live carelessly. People just build houses. There are places in Ondo I can take. This same Ondo I can take you to. They just build houses. Nobody, not the same, will you find in there. They just come once in a while in the year. In the UK, you will not try that.
Yeah.
In the United States, you'll be paying tax. You will put it on number. Maybe that is why the housing is cheap, because now supply is way higher than demand. They are just looking for people to just put it in so that they will just get pay from it. Maybe that's what Scott Igoma is not saying when it comes to our housing sector. A lot of things is wrong with our system already. You now see the what of them. We don't pay tax in this country. We don't. Business, so everything, we don't really pay tax. It's only there are only businesses that just pay tax in this country.
I remember there was
so where do they want to get the money from?
There was a song
to build the infrastructure.
When we were little, I don't know if you know the song. It's in Yoruba. In my mind, I will be like, okay, is it that they used to pay tax back in the days, and they are paying tax
back in the days to their barons and their kings back then.
Nigeria has the mentality of the problem is the way they introduce tax to us in Nigeria.
Because they even take pride in it, like it is our fathers that paid it.
Right.
The
You have to bring your
first set of
chocolate.
people that paid it is our fathers.
The fact that the reason why taxation is a problem to many Nigerians of today was because the way it was introduced to us pre-colonial and in colonial era was more like slavery. More like if you are paying tax, you are a vassal person. So if you don't pay tax, it shows you are the boss. And you all know that all of us wants to be what?
Right.
The boss. Many businessmen even try to evade tax one way or the other. So now ask yourself, we are only earning from petrol. We are a country of about 200 billion people. Look at our vast lands. Look at everything. How does the government want to raise money to build all the infrastructure? Aregbesola when he was governor of Osun State, he could not really pay salaries. Why couldn't he pay salaries? He needed to make infrastructure, and the only money that was coming was the exact salary that the staffs of the states were to collect. And the truth is, it's not as if those agencies were bringing money for the states. The same thing with almost every sector. So they subsidize too many things for us. Now the dire situation is that if they come to us now and say, okay, we are removing this whole thing for you now, so that we will have enough money to be able to attend to other things, all of us will go on the street and shout. So the only option that the government has is to do what? Do you know the harsh truth? We will keep running through these circles for a long time. But the truth is, a time must come in this country, we need to just tell ourselves the truth. And what is the harsh truth? We can't go ahead.
You see, that word, we need to tell ourselves the truth. I won't buy it. Because to me, I feel we all know the truth. Come to think of it, a whole lot of Nigerians travel outside the country.
And
you go to the UK, you go to the US, you pay tax. But then you come back here, a lot of people do not even know where to go if they want to pay tax. Not to talk of having a tax card or identity number or what is it?
And they will still come out there and shout. And
you still come out and shout, oh, government did this, oh, government did that. But then when you go outside the country, you cannot misbehave.
You can't even do what you are.
You know how many jobs you are doing together to pay your tax, but then you come back here and be like, the government are not doing well, we are not growing, we are not getting developed and all. Where do you think people outside the country they get their money to develop their country? But here we are, we start shouting, oh no, this, that. It is what it is. I think I'm starting to take it personally.
No. I'm just the harsh truth is just. I blame the government more doing this whole matter. Why do I blame them more in this whole matter? For a very long time. Now, I'm not just talking about the government of Tinubu, starting from everything democratic that happened in this country and military. Tell the people the harsh truth. I think a time must come in this country as Nigerians. We all have to sit on a round table and tell ourselves the truth.
If
we continue like this,
even it's a hard pill to swallow.
A time will come. We'll be borrowing money from Greece. Greece is broke. Let's be truthful with ourselves. The truth is, nothing comes cheap. Not even education. If we want to do free primary education and secondary education for ourselves, the tertiary education cannot be cheap. Let's take that one out of it. If we want to do free tertiary education, let's go make. I feel the only educations that should be expensive should be tertiary. Let primary and secondary be affordable. At least if you have that one, if you don't have money, go and do tertiary. Because honestly, the harsh truth is same with power, same with petrol, same with a whole lot of things. Things are going to be expensive. It's just the harsh truth. If we really need money to build all the infrastructure, when we now finish building it and we have all the factors of production, well, gradually the prices might begin to come down. And the truth is, you see all those areas of our resources that are still lying fallow and we are not touching and we are not accounting for. I think we need to begin to ask questions. You said we have coal in this country.
Where is it?
Where is the coal? How much comes in through coal? You said we have gas in this country. How much is coming through gas? You said we have agriculture. How much is coming through agriculture? We need to have accounts. We said we have gold. We have gold in Zamfara and many states. The day that Tinubu decided that he was going to begin to look into our gold reserve, that was where violence erupted in some. Let's just keep quiet and not talk. But let's go on a short break first. And when we are back, we'll continue our discussion on Daybreak Africa. This is Go Start. So enjoying Go Start. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome back from that short break. I hope you learned something from Go Start, right? And the reason for Go Start is for you to learn something, to start up something with the little that you have. So I believe you guys learned something from Go Start. So go start that thing and make profit. So we're moving on to our story. Hollywood is dying. Trump imposes 100% tariff on foreign movies.
Initially, I wanted to ask that what is killing Hollywood? What or who is killing Hollywood, but then.
So United States President Donald Trump has imposed a 100% tariff on foreign movies. In a statement issued recently, Trump claimed that Hollywood is rapidly declining, with filmmakers getting enticed by incentives in other countries. The president labeled the said turn down a national security threat. He said his decision would save the United States movie industry. The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Hollywood and many other areas within the United States of America are being devastated, he said. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movie coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands.
Ah.
Okay. At this point, I think we will go back to stage play.
No, Trump will begin to put tariffs on the air they bring in that country. That come from foreign land.
Because I think it's getting worse, it's getting tighter, it's getting harder by the day.
But who will travel to see stage play with all this kidnapping going on around?
And we'll not go to foreign land and shoot again. I will stay in our country and start watching.
Even in our country.
But one thing is putting an 100% tariff on foreign movies in the United States. Actually, it's going to I think I understand what he's trying to do. Me personally, if you look at Trump's campaign when he was trying to become president, he was always saying America first. Everything America first. In fact, in Romania currently, another candidate that is using the Trump pattern to campaign in Romania, George Simeon, is also using that same pattern. Romania first, everything Romania first. I wish someone can do that in Nigeria for us. That everything, because there are many products.
I think I would do it Nigeria first.
Here is the reason. Here is the reason. He wants it to be that the people that are benefiting more from their markets and everything there are majorly citizens, Americans. So if you are Apple, you doing this thing, do it here. If you are Balenciaga, you're making clothes, do it here. If you are making films, you're the Steven Spielberg, don't go to other countries, do it here. Even if you go, so far the film is produced here, no tariff. But if you bring in a foreign film like Bollywood, like all those things, then definitely you are killing our markets. The people will not value our market anymore. They are extra dependent on the other countries' market. Look at the issue of the tariffs he talked about with China now. You know, even China, they're just going back and forth. This one 246%, down 300. I'm waiting when they will get to at least maybe 1,000,000%. We are good to go. But then look at it. The problem I discovered there was China is winning it against them because almost everything they produce now is from China. Look at the Americans, the American country as a whole. Most of their workforce now, the skilled part of their workforce are not actually Americans. They are foreigners, people from China, people from India, Nigerians. They've taken their market from them. If to say they want to be doing xenophobia, I think the United States should even be the country that should even be doing that right now, because I'm not saying you should do that, to please. Because honestly, their market is infiltrated with foreigners right now. Their children are not already going much to schools like that. They are not getting the necessary skills they're supposed to get, and their social system is gradually, it has drastically fallen.
Declined.
So Trump is just looking for a way to make them see realities that you to brace up, you are losing. Brace up. Look at the films industry. Let's be sincere. These days, I download films a lot. Anytime I'm maybe on Netflix, on Prime Video, on the rest. Before we download one Hollywood film, I could have downloaded maybe 30 or 40 films from maybe India. Look at how South Korean film industry has infiltrated Africa automatically.
You see a whole lot of Africans, let me say Nigerians, in love with some of.
I don't want to know that guy is.
Jimmy,
this one lead. I don't understand.
People falling in love with them, like.
There was a time that they falling in love with, still be with. I'm in love with Anthony Banderas. I like Salma Hayek. You know, all those kind of things. A time later began to come and began to see people that wants to do.
Now they'll start telling you, Kumao, Oma, Opa.
Why? You so honestly.
But then they've gotten it as in no.
the blood
That Hollywood industry gradually eats. Now the market has. I'll be sincere with you. They've left them behind. They've gone. Even Hollywood is doing fine these days.
Yes.
So Trump is already seeing a situation where. And I think he's looking at it from, it was also into the entertainment business for a long time before, the presidency, the politics and all that. Even down to the music industry, let's look at it. Ashake now was taking over. People that don't even understand Omonogo, Konisofu, they are just singing anything they are singing. They don't cast, last. They don't even know what that breakfast actually means. So I say die by you. But everybody's just singing. The market is gone, it's taken. So it's just trying to bring back a system where they themselves will go back to, they will not be world power by mouth like Nigeria was taking Giant of Africa, I'm sorry, SARS, by book. Whereas South Africa now is more like come down.
For you.
No, don't come for me. I'm sorry, sir. This is not me.
He's your twin brother.
But honestly, we need to we can't be claiming something that technically in reality you are not there. Motivation above, critical thinking above motivation. So I think I like what he's doing for them. That is if they understand what he's trying to do. Because the United States market, if they are actually facing reality, they will realize that they are only having this name they carry up here. In reality, their seats as the world power is already is gone. It's gone. Let's be sincere. So that tariff is just for them to rise up. But for some time, you guys, I ain't going to watch good films.
Anyways, I'm not a film person like that, so
really? She's a business person, so she doesn't have time for meal.
But then let me sit down and watch something. You cooking, you hadn't this. Now we're talking about me saying, I love it. Have you the meal? Okay, I think I have something also somehow related to this industry, where the federal government has launched the Creative Economy Development Fund, the CEDF, as initiative to support creatives, entrepreneurs, and cultural organizations here in our country, Nigeria. The Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy announced the scheme in a statement recently, according to Newsman. The ministry said the fund aims to scale projects with strong financial documentation and clear expansion plans, noting that the first phase of applications, which opened on April 28th and is expected to close on the 30th of this month, targets mature businesses needing over $100,000. The statement said fashion designers, filmmakers, musicians, artists, tour operators, gaming developers, and other professionals in Nigeria's creative and cultural sectors are eligible to apply. Also, according to the ministry, the fund aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed Hope agenda by supporting job creation, cultural promotion, and economic diversification. Speaking on the initiative, Anatu Musawa, the Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy, described the fund as a strategic national investment to unlock Nigeria's creative potential. I think this is the best I've read today, because like you said, it's just as if our own Trump here in Nigeria, they are seeing things the way you explained, like, okay, what can we do here for ourselves? So far the federal government is seeing the need to arise, and I feel this is also going to help job creation truly.
Very well.
Gone are those days where everybody wants to be a doctor, everybody wants to be a lawyer, everybody wants to wear suits, everybody wants the white collar job as it is now. And there are a lot of money being made, especially in the music industry, in the movie industry, because when you see people release movie within a week, 2 weeks,
millions,
you see how much, I'll be like, wow.
Though we understand
the fact that they already invested a whole lot of money, their blood, their sweat and all, but then I'll be like, wow, here in Nigeria and we are able to make this much. But then if they get support from federal government, though it is not limited to filmmaking alone, it is not limited to the music industry alone. Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, true.
That actually gladdens my heart, because it is not as if, oh, so if I'm not an actor, I can benefit from this. Oh, if I'm not this, if I'm not a singer, I cannot benefit. No, so far you are an entrepreneur, you also can benefit from this. And I think kudos to the government for this initiative. Kudos. If the government is doing something good, let us talk about it.
Let us talk about the good part.
It is also like I read, it is also part of the agenda of the present administration, the renewed hope agenda, and I think I give it to the government. Not
even talking much about the person of I'm not doing any campaign for him.
I'm not doing a campaign.
No, I'm not saying anything. But I think I'm not putting anybody in trouble. I'm only saying I'm reading the news.
I'm talking about myself.
I'm commenting on the news. I'm standing on my own. I'm just saying that a good comment on the fact that I think I've known him over the years, even from his time as a governor in Lagos and all that. If they say someone has huge contributions to the Nigerian entertainment industry, creative industry, let's give it to him. Down to his son, Sheyi, and all that. There's hardly any artist you will find in Nigeria that there's no one, even out of the movie industry, that doesn't have a bit of involvement with them, even the sports industry. That was the reason why I was telling people last in 2023 that same people that are in the film industry, the sports industry, and all that campaign for him, even in the music industry, codedly campaign for him. It's not because of the fact that they believe he's going to do something very great. They are only appreciative of some of the things he had done over the years for them. There was a time when in Hollywood they were always going in debt. Ask someone like Saeed Balogun, ask someone like many of them go in debt for doing films. I remember when Afolashayo did Figurine and entered debt of over 50 million and all that and cool. And a bulk of many of these things, many of these guys came up. There are some politicians that on the coded level help them. So if the government is coming out today to say, okay, good, we want to open up the markets to you, we want to give loans to people. There are young creatives coming out in Nigeria now. Content creation has taken over the whole way. I told Nigeria, the truth is, let's be sincere with ourselves. In this country, we don't have therapists. So don't worry, have data. Have data.
Oh my goodness.
Just have data.
Have data and you'll be okay. Imagine you going through something and crying, and at the end of the day, you came across something. You forget. It might come back to you, but at that point in time, you forget
your sorrows.
I was
don't do that with our fight.
I was seeing a video online. I was like, there is nobody who's going to come here and not laugh. Someone died. It was an accident. The person died, and everybody was crying. The likes of Ozain and I've forgotten the other guy were crying, and they were like, okay, let them open the casket. And the way the teeth of that person was, people crying, started laughing. It was down to even the family of this person. They saw the cause and started laughing. The cleric that was there was that like, what kind of set of people are you guys? Someone died and you all are laughing at how? You should open the coffin and let me see. They opened it and even the cleric was there. He himself was laughing, Something like that. Someone I saw, they were also mourning someone, and at the end of the day, you saw your sister, probably, God forbid, when something bad happens, that's when you see people cross many rivers, many oceans to come and they were crying and her, and a distant sister that you've seen for years, you saw the sister with the kind of shoe the sister was in. He was crying, and then I was like, God, what kind of shoe is this? Or something laughing. So stuff like that, you might just be in the corner of your house and you've been brooding, you're not happy at all. But then you just feel like, okay, let me just check something online, and at the end of the day, you forgot your sorrow. Probably when you turn your data off, that's when you don't remember. Oh, I was thinking of this
reality.
But the actual truth is that before you know what's happening, this industry has become over $1 trillion industry. So if the government is making an investment right now, it's great, because honestly, if it's about jobs, I don't think there are much jobs out there at this particular time. So just pick
entrepreneurs are even taking over now.
Yeah, that's the truth. And it's through entrepreneurs. It's the small business of today that becomes the big business of tomorrow that employs more people for tomorrow. Me, I don't even feel we should even be looking for going to school to get jobs. I think school should be an avenue to open up minds to
enlighten
solutions they
us.
can provide. But if we are even talking about schools and all that, because this is where the excess of social media and our creative industry comes to play. Sometimes it gives people, I told people that if you are not very careful, you will realize that entertainment will take you off the realities of life, and part of the realities of life is education, which leads us to, I think, the final story we'll be taking today.
Before you take that story, there was sometimes I said something, but I think I reverted, because to me I feel there is nothing we can compare with education.
Yeah, true.
I was saying something when I was thinking about my business. I was like, all the money I even paid in Lautech, all my tuition fee, if I had added everything together, oh my goodness, probably my cake store today, maybe I'll have bouncers following me. But then, on the contrary, I now thought of it like, if I hadn't acquired that knowledge, the education, the way I handle business now I don't think I will be able to handle it.
Maybe I could have met it in front.
The truth be told, when you meet someone who is learned, who is into a business, and you meet someone
who is not learned,
the difference will be there.
Definitely.
The difference will be there. So then, to me, education is not scam.
It's not a scam. Look at now.
You have to be enlightened.
Because as we are saying this now, look. JAMB says over 75% of 2025 UTME candidates scored below 200.
Below 200.
75%. No.
Okay.
More than 1.5 million candidates who sat for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, which is the UTME, scored below 200, according to data released by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, yesterday, Monday. The data published on JAMB's official channels reveal that out of the 1.955.059, or let me just say 1,955,059 candidates who took part in the annual exam, only 420,415 surpassed the 200 mark. This represents just over 21% of the total figure. A total of 1,534,654 scored less than 200 out of a total achievable score of 400. This represents 78.49% of the total candidates who sat for the exam. The statistics further revealed that fewer than 1% of candidates scored above 300. We are
1%.
We are gone for.
Those are the days where you see students who sit for UTME aim towards 400. But then you see someone with 160 asking you, sister, please, what school do you think I can put in for? I'll be like, you even have the guts. There was one of my ogas, Mr. David. He was like, there is this girl that he had to pay her tuition, UTME fee, so she could sit for the exam and all. And you paid for something, you definitely ask, okay, what did you score when you knew result was out? And she didn't even wait for him to ask. She started calling, I've seen my result. Blah, blah, blah. The way she was happy, the enthusiasm and all, you'd be like, me, I was thinking probably 360 or something. And when this my oga asked the girl, should I call her a girl? Yes, she's a girl.
She's a girl.
She's a girl.
She might be old, but still a girl.
She's a girl. What was your score? I think she was saying 160.
You can imagine 160.
And the way you were looking at me, I had to look at him like
160.
It is not as if you had to hulk before you could get the money.
You only have one job.
It is not as if you had to run 5 different businesses together, or you are doing sales girl here, you are doing that there, before you could get this money. Someone paid, and the only job you had was to read well and pass the examination. But then it's in my mind, I was like, it is a joy for me. You scored 165.
And you're happy.
And you're still joyous.
And you're smiling.
I trust my mom.
I don't
I don't know.
I don't get. But I think I will still put this blame on some tertiary institutions whereby their cut-off mark, they have to bring it down.
So people are taking 150. You can imagine.
I won't put any blame on any tertiary institution.
Why?
My own blame will start from parents.
See, the thing
Let me explain this to you.
Okay.
A friend of mine scored 199. That was in 2010. He almost killed himself. I'm not a brilliant student.
You see some father tell their children,
I'm not a brilliant.
if you do it once and you do not pass it, if you are doing it next year, you go and look for the money yourself.
I'm not a very brilliant
student. You know the father you have, and you now say you want to write.
Sometimes I'm like, I do count myself as maybe
average.
Not really average. I was a bit above average. Let's say if you have like 100 students in class, I'm always among the top 10, top 20, and all that. That is, I don't even read much, but I wrote JAM twice. I don't think I ever scored below 250. And that 250 self, you can't tell everybody around you score 250.
Because it's a shameful
because
result.
They could kill you when you get home. You could die, just unnecessary deaths.
You know, when you get home, just start begging them.
Start begging them in advance. I went to do law that was University of Lagos with 260. I didn't get law, and I scored a very high score in my post-UTME plus the 260. I still did not get law because when I was getting there, I was seeing students that were having 350, 360, 370,
even UTME, they were jamming. You see students scoring 12 in 15 post-UTME.
And you ask yourself questions. I didn't know anything. This same thing when you said I trust my mother, you know, that was the first reaction you made.
Yes.
It was not the university first, it's first the home. There are parents that if you get to their home now with the 160 the child gets, you cry.
This is your first time.
Something happened on social media last year. A girl failed woefully in her exams but still had the guts to ask her father that he should get her an iPhone.
Wow. Really?
And the father disciplined her. Insulted her on social. The girl posted the video on social media. The first was people now came on social media were insulting the father, bought the girl the phone. I just like when the father did after that. He really brutalized the girl, and she came back on social media to make apologies. I never saw that girl on social media again since that time, and I said it's good because honestly, I felt if I was her older brother that day, I will deal with her seriously because you know that is the height of EQ, low EQ, low emotional intelligence. Your emotional quotient is too low. We have really lenient family systems in Nigeria today.
Too lenient.
And how will a 10-year-old be on social media? In the olden days, by 10 p.m. you are sleeping. What are you doing?
With you now because especially mothers, you see some mother go to their children's secondary school and be like they want to pay for special center.
We are the ones that pay for special center.
Let my people go. When you are doing that, so what do you now expect the child?
What do you know
the child to write when sitting for UTME? Someone who has nothing in the head. And at the end of the day, I'll be like, how then do you want Nigeria to produce good people as graduates when you are holding certificates? You see people with first class, but then they can't defend what they are holding. So what
I also blame the school because some schools are actually dropped their cutoff.
Yeah, I can never
blame
school.
Students are relaxing because they know that even without 160,
if
I will get admission.
Raise the standards of what is demanded of a child. If you raise the standard for a child now,
want to make money though.
Something happened recently. I was talking to my daughter. She's just barely over a year old, and I was just trying to make corrections on her. One of them was saying, she's just a child. I said, leave her alone.
When I start instilling everything I want in
her. Leave her alone. This is me and her.
This is my child.
This is my child. Everything she turns out to become,
to be on me.
The world will ask me a question later. Auntie, that's not how we are going to go. I think we need to begin to place more demands on these kids because a time will come we will lose experts. We will lose they will tell you that leave them alone, they are just kids. We are following the Western system of building children. Look at the West today now. The president has to be using tariffs to be making them have sense again. Honestly, it's the truth. When they created the tariffs on China, and they were asking some companies to come and be having their companies in the United States, employ their own people in the United States. Someone like Tim Cook of Apple came out and said, it's not as if they can't create their companies in the United States. Yes, they have the land mass. But the truth is, the harsh truth is, the expertise
are not there.
If you go to China, they can fill up stadiums with experts of that same thing. Go and check out the train children in those places. We will not copy the one that we are supposed to be copying. Thank God we are already watching so many and all that. People will draft to that one and see how they bring up their children. This was an African system. How our children were coming up tomorrow. Today we have people with weak mentalities. Any small thing, my mental health is affected. I'm depressed. If I'm the one that paid your jam fee and you fail woefully, I will not care about your mental health. I will make sure you will be depressed for a very long time. But it's well. Let's leave that aside. But it's sad. It's sad. It's very sad.
It's not encouraging.
It's very sad.
At the end of the day, you hear them say even people that do not go to school are making money. They are the one who are among the richest. How? Why?
But education is civilization. That's what they don't know.
Not even civilization. The ones that without education got money. I mean, that's what they are arresting now at airports with drugs and all that. And people that are shaking their bum on social media and thinking they are making good money. They are just made prostitution.
I love what a guy said. He was like, any lady you see shaking bum online, price her.
It's the truth.
It's a price.
She has
you come online and you start shake. My dear, how much?
What's the list? And then they will buy theirs now. They will be celebrating them. Those are the new role models of our daughters.
Of our Gen Z
so
today.
Why will school not be a scam to many of them? It's just the harsh truth. But then it's a very sad thing. Let's just take sports for the day so that we can cool off a bit, because this final story really angered me.
Even if I do not like sports, but then I don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice. Let's enjoy sports for the day. When we are done with sports, we'll come back and say our goodbyes on Daybreak Africa. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. This is still Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN television, and that was sport. I hope you enjoyed it. Today, based on the fact that we've been boiling, I think I enjoyed today's sport. But then, we really need to know what we are doing. Like Joshua said earlier, this thing boils down to the way we are parenting our children. Because at the end of the day, you'll be saying, he's my child. But then you yourself should sit and think about it. Everything you are instilling in your children, is it the right thing? Are you sure you're not supporting the bad thing your children are doing? Think of the fact that, is this the way your father or your mother brought you up? Even if they brought you up the wrong way, I don't think you should do that to your children. We used to say children are the leaders of tomorrow. Before you become a leader, that means you have something to give. Yes. If you now have something upstairs, there is nothing you want to give, and you cannot lead when you don't have sense. Because when you come across people who want to make you run, go crazy, at the end of the day, probably you will call yourself a leader. You might sit down and start crying because you are confused, based on the fact that you have nothing upstairs. School is not a scam. Let us stop saying that. School is not a scam. Let's try as much as possible to learn when we can, and we should learn right. Going to school is different from you having the knowledge required. Going through school is different from school going through you. So please, parents, let's try as much as possible to train our children. It is not even in the way of the Lord alone. In the way of the Lord is actually one of the things, and let me say it is paramount. But then teach them in the way they should grow, so that tomorrow they will not be shameless people who start shaking bomb online and all. I'm not coming for anybody, but then so they will not start doing things that, when you are sitting with your friend and you're checking something online, and all of a sudden your daughter or your son popped up, you'll not be like, how are you defending? You just scroll ASAP. You scroll because you don't want your friends to see them. At least you have people say, oh, my daughter, she is the owner of this so mall. My son, she's the owner of this and all this game that guys love. It is not as if it came from heaven. Someone was behind it. So why can't it be your son? Why can't it be your daughter? It shouldn't be your daughter who will just be there and start helping them, advertise bleaching cream and all. So let's please teach our children the good thing. I think that is what I have to say before.
Yeah, that's just the major thing. It's just sad. It's just very sad. I think one thing I will also advise is we should take this thing of money out of education. Like if you go to school, that's when you'll be wealthy. Let's take that.
People say if you go to school, it is money you want to make at the end of the day. If you not go to school, it is still money.
The truth is, school is not just because of money. Many scholars in the world, even before the advent of the white men coming to Africa, many of the scholars were not very wealthy people. They were scholars because maintaining society was based on the scholarly. Maintaining inventions, maintaining the science that we balance society was based on the scholarly. So definitely we should teach people the right things. And school is never a scam. There's a way you behave in society. There's a way you are respected if you are a person of wisdom, if you are a person that is well educated. So you saying school is a scam is you yourself, you are putting yourself in danger. It's poisonous to your life at the same time. And as parents, please, let's be sincere with ourselves. Let's reinstall proper discipline to children. Honestly, like Shayo said, it's sad if we are seeing children who, as little as school tasks, they are failing in it. It's very sad. No one is saying you should be the most intelligent or the most brilliant. You can aim at that high, but demand something that is above average from them, please. It's sad that you are wasting money on something that at the end of the day you are regretting like this. That's bad investment. Bad investment. Very bad. And many people out there is they are showing themselves to be, I don't know how you will be failing jump and you still be looking for Bone Street.
Or give you straight cane. Bone Street. Weird. How?
But then it's sad. It's very sad. But then till we meet tomorrow on Daybreak Africa again on the same station, same place. My name still remains Ikhonede Joshua Adeji.
I am Afolashayo Hamzat.
And I am Miracle Odunayo.
Bye guys.